You're standing in the shower and you look down. There's a clump of hair sitting on the drain, not a few strands. A clump. You pull more out of your brush later and your stomach drops. You start counting how many times you run your fingers through your hair and come away with loose strands. Then comes the panic. Am I going bald? Is this normal? Should I see someone? So you do, and the doctor says it's just stress, or just aging, or just part of being a mom. They tell you to take biotin and stop worrying about it. But here's the thing. Your body isn't lying to you. That hair falling out is a signal. And in 2026, we finally understand what it's trying to say. There are 3 biological pillars driving female hair loss, and if you fix them, the hair follows. Let's break it down. Your hair follicles are hormone receptors. That's not a metaphor. They literally respond to estrogen, testosterone, and thyroid hormones the same way your uterus or your skin does. When your hormones shift, your hair shifts with them. And the problem is that most women are walking around with hormonal imbalances they don't even know about because the standard blood work says they refine. Let's start with estrogen. Estrogen keeps your hair in what's called the anagen phase, which is the growth phase. The longer your hair stays in that phase, the thicker and longer it gets. When estrogen drops, like it does during premenopause or after pregnancy, your hair gets shoved into the resting phase early. It stops growing and starts shedding. That's why women in their late 30s and 40s suddenly notice their ponytail feels thinner. It's not aging. It's estrogen withdrawal. Then there's the androgen problem. Androgens are male hormones, but women have them too. The issue is a specific androgen called DHT. DHT shrinks hair follicles. In men, this creates the classic bald spot. In women, it causes diffuse thinning, especially along the part line. And here's the kicker. You don't need high testosterone to have a DHT problem. If you have insulin resistance, PCOS, or you're in perimenopause, your body can convert normal levels of testosterone into DHT more aggressively. The follicle doesn't care what your total testosterone level is. It only cares about the DHT sitting on the receptor. Now let's talk about thyroid. Your thyroid controls your metabolic rate, and your hair follicle is one of the fastest growing tissues in your body. It needs a lot of energy. When your thyroid is even slightly underactive, your hair is one of the first things to suffer. The problem is that most doctors only test TSH, and they consider anything under 4.5 to be normal. But functional medicine practitioners know that optimal TSH for hair growth is between 1 and 2. If your TSH is sitting at 3.5 and your doctor says you refine, your hair is still starving for thyroid hormone. And if you've already tried biotin and nothing happened, this is probably why. Biotin doesn't fix hormone problems. It's like putting premium gas in a car with no engine. The raw material is there, but the system that processes it is broken. The old way of treating hormonal hair loss was to throw a multivitamin at it and hope for the best. The new way is to actually test your hormones correctly. That means a full thyroid panel, not just TSH. It means checking your free testosterone and your DHES to see if androgens are the problem. It means looking at your estrogen levels in the context of where you are in your cycle or your life stage. Here's exactly what to ask your doctor for. Say, I want a full thyroid panel including TSH, free T3, free T4, and thyroid antibodies. If they push back, say, my hair loss is affecting my quality of life, and I want to rule out thyroid as a factor. For androgens, request free testosterone, total testosterone, and DHEAS. If you suspect PCOS or insulin resistance, add fasting insulin and hemoglobin A1C to the order. Most doctors will run these if you ask directly. And then it means treating the root cause, not just the symptom. If your thyroid is sluggish, you need thyroid support. If your androgens are high, you need to address insulin resistance. And here's the fastest way to do that without medication. Start every meal with protein and fat before you touch carbs. This blunts your glucose spike. When you eat carbs first, your blood sugar shoots up, your insulin spikes, and that insulin surge tells your ovaries to pump out more androgens. Those androgens convert to DHT, and DHT shrinks your follicles. But when you eat protein first, your glucose rise is slower and steadier, your insulin stays calm. Your androgens stay balanced. Try this tomorrow. Eat your eggs before your toast. Eat your chicken before your rice. That one shift can reduce your post-meal insulin response by 30%. If your estrogen is tanking, you need to support that transition. The hair is just the messenger. Fix the message and the hair comes back. Let's talk about stress. Not the vague, you need to relax kind of stress. The biological kind. The kind that floods your bloodstream with cortisol and tells your body that survival is more important than vanity. When your cortisol spikes, your body goes into triage mode. It decides what gets resources and what doesn't. Hair is not essential for survival, so it gets cut off. This is called telogen effluvium. It's a fancy term for stress-induced shedding. Here's how it works. Your hair grows in cycles. There's the growth phase, the resting phase, and the shedding phase. Normally, about 85% of your hair is in the growth phase at any given time. But when you experience a major stressor, your body forces a huge chunk of that growing hair into the resting phase all at once. Then, about 3 months later, it all falls out at the same time. That 3-month lag is critical. The hair you're losing today is not a reflection of your stress today. It's a reflection of what happened 90 days ago. Think back 3 months. Did you move? Change jobs? Get sick? Have a fight that lasted weeks? That's your answer. Maybe you had surgery, maybe you got sick. Maybe you went through a breakup or a job loss. Whatever it was, your body registered it as a threat, and it pulled the plug on your hair growth. The problem is that, by the time you notice the shedding, you've often forgotten about the initial stressor. So you panic and assume something is wrong right now, which creates more stress, which perpetuates the cycle. Now let's talk about chronic stress. Acute stress causes a temporary shed. Chronic stress causes permanent thinning. When your cortisol is elevated for months or years, it doesn't just push hair into the resting phase. It actually shrinks the follicle. High cortisol also increases inflammation, and inflammation suffocates the hair follicle. It reduces blood flow to the scalp. It disrupts the nutrient delivery system. It creates an environment where hair can't grow even if the hormones are perfect. The old way of treating stress-related hair loss was to say, just relax or try yoga. The new way is to treat it like the clinical issue it is. That means testing your cortisol levels, not just assuming they're high. You can order a salivary cortisol test online or ask your doctor for a 4-point cortisol test. This shows your cortisol rhythm throughout the day, not just a snapshot. That means using adaptogens like ashwagandha or rhodiola to regulate the stress response. Start with 300 to 500 milligrams of ashwagandha in the morning if your cortisol is high. If it's low, rhodiola works better. That means nervous system work, vagal tone exercises, and actual parasympathetic activation. Try this right now. Exhale for twice as long as you inhale. 4 seconds in, 8 seconds out. Do that for 2 minutes. That's a vagal reset. Do it every morning before you check your phone. It means understanding that stress management is not a luxury. It's a medical requirement for hair regrowth. If your nervous system is stuck in fight or flight, your hair will never recover. You have to get your body out of survival mode before it will invest in growing hair again. If you've had a baby, you know the postpartum hair loss is real. For 9 months, your hair looked incredible. It was thick, shiny, and growing like crazy. Then, about 3 or 4 months after you gave birth, it started falling out in handfuls. You'd find it on your pillow, in the sink, wrapped around the baby's fingers. And everyone told you it was normal, which it is. But that doesn't make it less terrifying. Here's what actually happened. During pregnancy, your estrogen levels skyrocket. That surge of estrogen keeps almost all of your hair locked in the growth phase. Hair that would normally shed just stays put. So you end up with way more hair on your head than usual. That's the pregnancy glow everyone talks about. But after you give birth, your estrogen crashes hard. All that hair that was artificially held in the growth phase suddenly gets the signal to stop. It moves into the resting phase, and then about 3 months later, it all falls out at once. This isn't hair loss, it's hair correction. Your body is just shedding the excess hair it was holding on to during pregnancy. The problem is that it feels like you're going bald because you're losing so much volume so quickly. And the real issue is what happens after the shed. A lot of women never fully recover their pre-pregnancy hair density. Why? Because pregnancy and breastfeeding are nutritionally depleting. Your body just spent 9 months building a human. Then it spent months feeding that human with your own nutrient stores, iron, zinc, B vitamins, protein. All of it got prioritized for the baby, not your hair. If you're breastfeeding, it's even worse. Your body is still in resource allocation mode. It's still choosing between feeding your baby and growing your hair. And your hair loses every time. So even after the initial postpartum shed stops, your hair stays thin because you're running on empty. The follicles don't have the raw materials they need to rebuild. The old way of handling postpartum hair loss was to wait it out and hope it grows back. The new way is to treat it like the recovery process it is. That means aggressive nutritional repletion. Iron supplementation if your ferritin is below 70. Ask for an iron panel, not just hemoglobin. Ferritin is the storage form, and that's what matters for hair. Zinc, B12, and folate. Protein intake of at least 100 grams a day. Collagen peptides for hair structure. Here's a simple postpartum scalp protocol. Once a week, massage rosemary oil mixed with a carrier oil into your scalp for 5 minutes before you shower. Rosemary oil has been shown in studies to work as well as minoxidil for hair regrowth. It increases blood flow to the follicle. Pair that with a scalp massager brush. Use it every time you shampoo. The mechanical stimulation signals the follicle to grow, and it means giving your body time. The postpartum shed is temporary, but the regrowth takes 6 months minimum. You're not broken. You're just depleted. Feed your body, and your hair will follow. You're not going bald. Your body is sending you a signal. When you fix the biology, the hair follows. Whether it's hormones, stress, or postpartum depletion, the solution is the same. Test, treat, and give it time. Drop a comment if this resonated with you, and subscribe for more evidence-based health content. Your hair journey starts now.